as far as the album, you have like a lot of features on the album.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, well, not a lot, but you have
I've seen albums with more.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
But as far as the features, you have really big features on the album.
I think I got the right. I just got the features of the people I really wanted to work with. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know.
Well, you and Jay-Z are always a perfect combination.
Yeah.
Always.
Hov, you know, that's my dude, and I feel like that record for me and him, you know.
I love that record.
Will be timeless.
Yeah.
You know, even it'll probably get bigger as time goes because it's just one of those type of.
It also really fits in with what you were just talking about people that have experienced things versus people that haven't experienced anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think when you get Jay-Z and Jeezy on the record and they're giving you those tales and you look at, you know, you put us on a pedestal and look at us being so successful and that you can even go back and pull that emotion out of a song, you know what I'm saying, or just out of an experience. I think that's what just makes us authentic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in Marcy, like I don't know how that went, but just judging by what he was talking about, I could see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't in Magic City with me when I was doing my thing, but I'm quite sure he heard about it. So it's like to bring that to the forefront and to be able to stay that, because you got to keep in mind, you on the record with Jay-Z.
Right.
And you saying I've seen it all. Right. And nobody's contested that yet.
No.
You know, it ain't been one conversation about, I don't know. It could be a little flake, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what went on because everybody saw him do his thing, everybody saw me do my thing.
Right.
When I hear niggas talk about stories about shit that used to go on with Jay-Z, I'll be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's unreal. You know what I mean? Because he's
been able to put himself in where it's
so
almost seems like,
ghetto stories about when they was doing this and buying Timberlands and polo leathers, you like, get the fuck that nigga with. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy because you sit down and talk to him now, he's totally different. Same thing with me. It's just like, you know, like I said earlier, I was the kid that was running around, you know, and driving those type of cars and living that type of life and throwing that type of money and popping that type of champagne. And all these niggas put in their videos, they put in on their vlogs, and it's just like, if Instagram was popping back then,
right?
Which I'm glad it wasn't, because I probably wouldn't be here right now. But it's just like you just see the change, and it's just like, you know, it's like everything is full circle, but it's kind of like rap niggas are rapping to live the life that you already kind of live, so that was already put you on another level. So the shit that you living now, you thinking, you know, is life, is the shit that I was living then that me and Jay-Z rapping about now. So I'm going to the next phase, you see what I'm saying? I'm 10 years in it.
It's interesting to me, like when you see on the internet too, like there's some young kids, they're holding up like AK-47s.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's the 80s babies epidemic, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, they had different upbringing, and when I came up, it was about hustling, you know what I'm saying? It was about staying sober. Not being fucked up because you had to be on your shit, nigga, knock your top off. You know what I'm saying? Now it's so wild for the youngsters and the younger cats. It's more so about survival than hustling. So that's why, you know, they drink, they smoke, they pop pills, because it's different. Like, you got to stay sane.
Right.
So it's like, you know, you see them holding them guns up in the video, like they really think that's how they got to live. Because they going out, you take Chicago, man, kids die every day.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? 60, 70 people get shot. How the fuck does that happen? Sounds like Afghanistan, you feel me?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So, also somebody else that's on the album is Akon.
Yeah.
Who you like to work with. We all know that. Yeah. And you guys, obviously, I guess, must still have a really good relationship.
Yeah, it's my dude, man. Akon definitely changed my life when he gave me Soul Survivor. Actually, his brother pulled up and gave it to me. I remember being in Patchworks, I was in the Patchworks working and shit, and we was all going to Visions that night, and me and Con was on the phone. He's like, I'm sending Boo over there with a song for you, and he sent them over there with the Soul Survivor. So it was already done. All I had to do was rap on it. So I ran outside, got the CD from Boo, and had my man put it in the shit, my engineer, and put it in. I was like, all right, this shit cool. So I did it right quick before I went to the club. So I knocked the shit out, boom, 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 boom. So, you know, I go back, get jeweled up, you know what I mean? Hop out, we go all to the club, parlay, have a good time. So we all end up coming back to the studio, like me, Shakir Stewart, and all us. And I was like, yo, I was working on this song. I want to just play it. It's cool. And I played it. Whole studio went fucking crazy. But the first thing I said was it was too big for me at the time, because, you know, I had like Trap or Die, get your mind right. So I wasn't even thinking like that. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
perfect record for you.
I mean, I didn't understand what that meant at the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to treat these records like what they are, because they can change your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Does that scare you?
I hadn't experienced that up until that point. You see what I'm saying? Like, because all my records was so street and so Atlanta, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all I had experienced.
Right.
The street shit.
And here you had like a hit.
And didn't even know it. And was about to give it away. You know what I'm saying? So they fought me the whole time. Shakir fought me. Everybody fought me. They put it on the album. I'm just like, why don't y'all just put it out and see what happened? And luckily, the album got leaked. And it was on the CD that got leaked. So the shit blew up on its own. You feel me?
So how did you feel?
I mean, you know, when I started going to different cities, it was different. And I remember doing a show. It could have been Summer Jam. It was something big up north. And before I got ready to get off the stage, my DJ just played it for some walk-off music. And I had to walk back on stage because it was that big.
And perform it.
I didn't know it. You feel me?
So, what do you do in that case? You don't know the song.
I mumbled through that shit, you know what I mean? But I made it look good
like,
as a
yeah.
motherfucker, all that. And
that is hilarious.
yeah, but I mean, you know, that was the first time I ever experienced, you know, the difference, because quite naturally, Akon has African descent. And
Right.
It's like, now you got people in Africa that know who this kid is from Atlanta.
Right.
All because of a song. So I'll be walking through the airport and the African guys, Akon, Young Jeezy, Young Jeezy, where Akon at? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it started being different. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
it was like more of an international thing. So when I started going like to London and all these different places doing shows, that was like one of my biggest records.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's good.
So you guys talked a while back about doing like a collabo album.
Yeah.
Have you guys just kind of shut that down at this point, or?
No, I mean, you know, me and Akon, we was talking the other day. I actually went to the studio to fuck with him. Like, we got so much shit in the clip.
How many songs do you have?
Probably like 8, 9.
Oh, wow.
We just did just this in the drive. Probably still can go right now to the day. But we actually sat down and talked about, you know, just some future things we want to do, and actually talked about
Doing the collabo album?
No, I actually talked about doing a video for Been Get Money in Dubai.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we want to do, the video for that in Dubai.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Also, Neo, I spoke to him recently, and he said that Money Can't Buy. I know it's not on your album, but I wanted to ask you about that. He said you gave him that song?
Yeah.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, you know, Neo, my dude, man. You know, we did Leave You Alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which was a record.
You two both compliment each other also.
Yeah, but I Leave You Alone, I actually wrote that hook, and then he went and critiqued the hook.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I wrote the hook, and then he went and critiqued it. Money Came By, I co-wrote that hook, and he went and critiqued it. But you know, Leave You Alone done so well, and it was just such a good record for me. I just happened to call him. I was like, yo, I was gonna get him to get on Money Can't Buy. I was like, well, we already did something like that. But I called him. I was like, yo, you got a single? He was like, we working. I said, yo, listen, nigga, pull up. I got you.
And it's an
took
amazing record.
It took him a minute, but when he finally got over there, and you know, he heard it, and he took it back with him, and he sent it back. I was like, nigga, this is it. And it was just, you know, it's one of those feel good records. I didn't feel like it fit Seen It All,
Right.
as far as the album, but it was definitely a good Neo song. You know what I'm saying?